I've always been interested in blacksmithing. I'm a carpenter by trade and used to banging on stuff and enjoy it. I don't know if I'm going to be any good at this or where it's going to go on the channel, but it's something I've been interested in, so I started collecting up the parts to make it happen. This one here is from about 1855, and I found it about 3 hours away on a buy and sell, and I figure I got it for about half of what it's worth. A friend of mine picked it up for me. It also came with these tongs, and it also came with a cool kind of a mini anvil and vise deal. Maybe I'll put that on here as well. So again, I'm collecting the stuff to do it. I don't know if I'm going to be any good at it. I don't know if the channel's where it's going to go with the channel, but I think it's cool and I'm going to give it a try. I also picked up a 92-pound leg vise, and I believe it's a Sheffield, and it's a beastly thing and it's in great shape, and that was probably 2.5 hours away. A lot of this stuff I'm finding on horse farms or old homesteads. And I also picked up a blower in Banff, and the blower came with the forge table. It's an old coal forge, and it's probably 1902-ish, and I'll show you that in a minute. I rebuilt the blower and everything works great. So this is an old English anvil from around 1855, and back then they used the weights, the stone weight scale. So how that works is, you'll notice there's a 0 here. This is a 3, I'll get a close-up of it later, and this is a 14. 0 represents every 112 pounds. So if it was a 1 there, it would mean 112 pounds. If it was a 2, it would be 224 pounds, and so on. Since this is a 0, that means 0, obviously. These are quarters. So there's 3 of them, so 3 quarters. So a quarter of 112 pounds is 28 pounds. So you'd have 3 quarters, so 3 28ths is 84, so 84 pounds. And then you got a 14 here, and those are singles. So 84 pounds plus 14 is 98 pounds. So I haven't put this on a scale yet, but it is quite the boat anchor, and I will eventually weigh it. So some of the newer anvils, these holes are drilled. This one has been punched at the forge when this block has been red hot. This hardy hole and the Pritchell hole underneath, you can see where it's been punched through instead of drilled through. Hopefully you can see this, but you can tell where it's been punched. You can see kind of a bump here. So you can imagine this thing being red hot and then punching through to make this hardy hole. So, and if you look up steam hammers, you'll see what they did, or what they needed to make this into what it is today. Massive old steam hammers would punch this giant block into shape. The other hole, this is at the hanging end. I'm going to say the back of the anvil, the hanging end. There's one at the front under the horn as well, and this is at the waist. These are for moving the anvil around, handling it while it's red hot. They would stick a tool in these holes so they could manipulate it under the steam hammer. There's also one underneath this, so there's 3 in total. So I'm putting it all together to see where it's going to go. It really interests me, and I think what's cool about it is it's not this electronic crap that you got to upgrade constantly and throw in a dumpster every 6 months to get a better model. This thing has been around. You don't need to upgrade with this thing. It'll do what it was designed to do for hundreds of years. So whether I can make that happen or not, we'll see. But again, it just really interests me, and I think it'll be fun to try out. So I've been told this is a Joshua Wilkinson anvil out of the mid-1850s. This was told to me by an anvil pro, a guy that's so involved in anvils, makes my head spin, and knows what he's talking about. If you think it's something else, you know what, let me know. Leave a little comment in the comment section there and let me know what you're thinking. It's in really good shape. I'm going to clean it up too, and I'll show you the, well, obviously this is the before, and we'll do an after too.